What's up, family? Welcome back to another YouTube video. It's your boy Official Alisi, back again with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to break the generational money trauma that a lot of us have, right? That a lot of us probably inherited. This money trauma was probably passed down to you from your parents, passed down to you from your mom, your dad, whoever it is in your family that probably talk to you about money and let you know that money is not a good thing, right? So I want you to kind of identify and understand where your money trauma comes from and how to start breaking out of that cycle. That's the whole goal of this video, is to actually understand how to break out of that cycle where you're not thinking money's a bad thing, where you're not thinking about how money can mess people up, but you can use it as a tool to actually help you in this life. So when I think about generational money trauma and what it looks like, I think about people hoarding money out of fear, even when they're financially stable, right? So you have a lot of people that like to hoard their money. When I say hoard, that pretty much just means save their money, right? Because they ultimately realize that if I spend this money, right, and it goes away, I'm gonna lose it and I probably won't be able to get it back, right? That's why when you tell people to invest, or you tell people to think about investing into a business or investing into stocks or investing into these different assets, they're kind of scared to do that, right? Not understanding that the whole point of making money is to spend it, right? Because when you eventually save all your money in a savings account, your money is losing its purchasing power. So when I say it's purchasing power, the same that your money's gonna stay. If you have $1,000 in a savings account, it's gonna stay $1,000, right? But over time, because of the economy, because of inflation, this thing we all hear all the time called inflation, which a lot of us don't know how it works. But I'm here to kind of explain to you how it works. Inflation is just a natural process of the economy, of things going higher because uh there's more materials being built, there's more people are spending more money, right? And that's how inflation naturally happens. Wages need to go up, companies are starting to charge more, which pretty much forms a domino effect, causing things to be a little bit pricier, causing gas to go up a little bit, causing the price of McDonald's, the price of a McChicken to go up a little bit, causing the price of Chipotle to go up a little bit. I remember back in like 2020, Chipotle bowl used to be like $6, $7. Now it's 10 something, 10.76, I think. Right? So that's the cost of inflation. That's what inflation has done. But hoarding your money is never good, right? You have to kind of break out of that mentality. Another thing is avoidance, right? Not opening bills, not checking your check-ins account, refusing to talk about money. The reason a lot of people are scared to talk about money is because they don't understand money. They don't understand money on a level that they can actually speak to their peers about it. If you understood investing, if you understood budgeting, if you understood exactly how to set up your retirement accounts, you wouldn't be scared to talk about money. You wouldn't be scared to talk about it. You would. When I say scared, I don't mean like you're scared to talk to people, but you don't like conversating to other people and you're not open to talking to other people about investing, about how they budget, about how you budget, right? These are all things that I feel like as a society we should talk more about, right? Because if I have a plan and if I'm doing something that's helping me build wealth, why when someone asks me or when someone comes to talk to me, why wouldn't I share that with them? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I share that with them? So that's kind of the jail we have to break from, this mindset of not wanting to talk about money, avoiding having these discussions. These discussions are kind of viewed as taboo. Taboo basically means like you ever grew up and then there's certain subjects your parents didn't let you talk about, right? That's kind of how money is viewed, especially in our community. And overspending is another thing that a lot of people fall into, right? That's what generational trauma looks like. Overspending on different things, overspending on clothes, overspending on shoes, stuff that you don't need because you get caught in this cycle of buying things you don't need, buying Jordans you don't need. If you're a guy, buying shoes you don't need, buying a bunch of designer that you probably don't need, going out and financing a car when you're 18, 19, just because you probably made your first $3,000, $4,000. If you're watching this and you're someone that's around that age, the worst mistake that you can make is going to finance a car at this age. Going to finance a car, because what you're essentially doing is you're tying yourself up in interest payments and your finance payments for the next 3 to 5 years, where they told you the total of the car was going to be 25,000, but in reality, after insurance costs, after interest payments, after, if you have warranty, you'll be all right. But after repair costs, maybe after replacing tires, after doing all these things, oil changes, the cost of that total car after you're done paying it will pretty much be around 35,000, an extra 10,000. If I add gas in there, probably an extra 15,000 after it's all said and done, right? So really factor in the costs of these expenses, of these purchases you're going to make early on in your life when you're 18, 19, 20. If you can't make those purchases, don't make them, right? If a car is 25,000 and you don't have 75,000, you don't have 100,000, don't go out and finance a car. That's financing a car is not for you. Go out and buy a used car instead. I know it's kind of hard to tell you guys through a screen to go and finance a car. You're probably listening to this like, bro, what is this guy talking about? Like, I need to look cool. I need to look fresh. I need to look clean, right? At an age, I thought those things were cool too. But as you get older, you kind of realize the important things, right? You don't want to be stressing over money. That's my thing. I don't want to ever be stressing over money. I don't want to be like, oh my God, like I don't have money. I don't have money to do this. I don't have money to do that. I was always like intentional about the amount of money that I had on deck, on hand, right? That I could spend. And tying yourself up to a financing deal where you're paying every month, right? 400, 500, 600 kind of ties you down because you don't get to invest. You do not get to save your money the way that you would like to. So I want you to always prioritize yourself. This generational trauma that a lot of us have, you got to understand where it comes from. It comes from family history, poverty, right? Your parents growing up in poverty, your parents experienced job losses, your parents being in debt, your parents having financial abuse. It's also a culture and society thing, right? Where the culture you're from pretty much lets you know, like, hey, we don't have enough money. These we don't have money to do certain things, right? When you have your money, these are the things that you should do. All right. These are the things you should do. And these other things, don't tap into them because they're scams, right? They're not for people like me and you, they're for rich people. So when I'm saying they're for rich people, I'm talking about investing. The stuff your parents tell you is kind of like investing's for gamblers, investing's for people in these buttoned up, tied up suits, right? That's what they tell you. But in reality, once you start kind of piecing things together, you realize, bro, investing's for everybody, right? Investing is for every freaking body. It's not just for one person, it's not for two people. The way these companies want to make money, they're allowing, I'm not gonna say they're allowing, but they want investing. They want people like me and you investing at a young age because that's how they're setting it up. Companies like Robinhood, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, these are the companies that allow people to invest, and you can get started investing at a young age, right? It's kind of modeled behavior. So what you watch your parents do, that's what you start to do. What you watch the people around you do, that's what you start doing. The habits and the things that they did with their money, you start doing them, right? You obviously understand things a little bit different, but you kind of follow their path, not realizing that if they're not in a good situation and you're looking at them at age 20, 19, 21, why would you follow the same path that they followed? Because you might end up the same place they're at, right, in a few years. So understand that you kind of have to change your mindset on how you think about money. I realize that this this kind of trauma, it shows up in your adulthood. So you have anxiety around spending, or you have irrational fear of saving your money and investing. You see a lot of people who don't understand investing. They'll tell you, bro, like, I'm gonna lose my money. Like, I'm scared to lose my money. Investing is a scam. Like, how you're investing, like, bro, are you doing day trading, stuff like that? And I would tell them, like, bro, no, all you're doing is investing into your retirement, investing into your Roth IRA account, your individual retirement account, or you're working for an employer who offers a 401k, Or you have a taxable brokerage account where you're investing into individual stocks, you're investing into ETFs, right? Over the long run. And they're like, man, I don't trust none of that stuff. The market is for rich people. It's not for people like me who don't have a lot of money. And I'm telling them, bro, you don't have to have a lot of money to start investing. That's kind of this thing that they push on you, is like, you have to have a lot of money to invest. You have to have a lot of money to start investing. That's the pre notion that you have before you actually start to learn investing. And then you realize, bro, I could literally start with $1. I could start with $5. I could start with $10, right? Every week. Or I could start with $1 every single day. So once you change your mindset on how you think about investing, everything in your life could change. You have difficulty negotiating your salary at work or asking what you're worth, right? I'm not too much focused on asking what you're worth, but if you're someone who has issues with going to your job and letting them know that you feel like you need a promotion, you feel like you need a pay increase, and you can't do that, then you're someone who struggles with that, and you need to kind of change your mindset. So here's practical steps on how to actually reframe your mindset. I want you to do this exercise, right? You take the story that you've been given about money and you take your story. So old beliefs are not permanent truths. You can't allow old beliefs and the thoughts that people put into your head become your permanent truth and the reality that you stay with, right? You have to change that mindset. You have to start small. You have to neutralize your money habits, meaning checking your balance without judging yourself. If you're in a position where you can't even check your balance, some people can't even open their bank account and check how much money that they have. That's a real big issue. So check, if you're able to check your balances, check your investing accounts, check these different things. And if you're someone that doesn't have these things, you can start these things, start investing, start your Roth IRA accounts, start your retirement accounts. And then you can have open communication, open dialect with talking to people about these accounts, talking to people about their money situation, and how you can also improve yours as well if they have some advice. That's what I want you to start doing. Start having open communication about these things where you're talking about money with your partner, with your family members, with your brothers, your sisters, to break that silence, to break that mindset of being traumatized, right? With this mindset that we're all stuck in. I want you to reframe your relationship with money, meaning you see money as a tool and not a measure of identity or safety. I also want you to celebrate the small wins, celebrate the savings that you're doing, celebrate the budgeting that you're doing, celebrate the investing that you started to do, so that you can actually praise yourself when you contribute and you actually were intentional about creating your wealth. You're actually intentional about following these practical steps, right? So I hope you found this video helpful. All right. If you got any questions, if you got any comments or anything, please leave them down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about these videos. Let me know what type of videos you guys are waiting for, because I'm really trying to make videos that you guys want so that we can grow together, right, with this finance thing. So it's not my channel, it's your channel as well. So let me know what you guys like. Do not forget to subscribe down below. Thank you for watching, and peace.